My dear forum members, I welcome you all to this weekend Endobedism. The topic for today is endospace microbiology. We'll describe very briefly and in a very simple way. First point which I would like to share with you is 8 phyla among 12 phyla of bacterial kingdom. They appear in the endodontic space during infective periods. Firmicutes, Fusobacterium, Proteobacterium, Actinomyces, Spirochetes, Synergistics, and TM47 are the predominant phyla which can be seen in the pulp space during infection period. Second point which I would like to sledge upon is that these bacteria or these organisms, they never live as planktonic form in the root canal space. Rather, they would form biofilms. They would hide behind smear layer, which is the always end product of any type of instrumentation in the endodontic space. Majority of these are non-motile and they reach up to the apex by reproduction only. That is why entombing the bacteria is very important term in the endodontic therapy. Third point which I would like to explain to all of you is the nature of the microbiology during primary infection of the root canal space. My dear friends, gram-negative anaerobic population and gram-negative facultative population are responsible for this type of infection. This is the population which appear first in the root canal space. The gram-negative anaerobes are the predominant organisms which are responsible for this activity. Fusobacterium, dialysters, Centipeda, Vilonella, Porphyromonas, Prevotella, and Tenirellas are the important gram-negative anaerobes which can be identified in the endodontic space during primary infection. And on the other hand, the Hemophigas, Capnocytophaga, and Neisseria are the responsive gram-negative facultative organisms which can be identified in the root canal space infection. But the good thing is that all these microorganisms, they are very weak and they are very fragile in front of our conventional irrigational regime where we use sodium hypochlorite either full strength or in the diluted form, either heated or at the normal temperature, and in front of EDTA. All these infections can be treated very easily and we can expect any type of resolution in the peri-apex area if any pathosis in the form of acute periapical abscess or chronic abscess or cyst has already occurred in that area. Fourth point which I would like to sledge upon is, as we all know, there is no any ultra straight canal, human canal in this universe. The canal is having ribbon, fins, lateral canals or ramification like characteristics. In the root, any five situations can occur. Canal may divide, canal may redivide, canals may merge, canals may dilacerate, or canals may calcify. which make canal space an ideal habitat for organisms, which we have already described polymicrobial characteristics of organisms, biofilm like characteristics of biofilms, hiding of the biofilms under the smear layer, and in addition to this complexity in the morphology of the canals, the microbiology become much more complex and difficult to treat. Fifth point related to the microbiology, which I want to explain to you, my dear friends, is the nature of the microbiology during the secondary infection of the canal, which we call sometimes as a failed root canal, or which we call sometimes as revisional endodontics. The microorganisms which are responsible during this infection are gram positive anaerobes and gram positive facultatives. As far as the gram positive anaerobes are concerned, these are Propionobacterium, Eubacterium, Peptostreptococci, Actinomyces, and filifactors. And on the other hand, as far as the gram positive facultatives are concerned, all streptococci, all actinomyces, all lactobacilli, and all enterococci are responsible for the secondary infection. And I would like to say rather, contemporary endodontics is now more keen to do research on E. coli, which is main responsive organism in the secondary root canal infection. These organisms, in addition to other gram positive facultative organisms, are very resistant to our conventional sodium hypochlorite or EDTA, but they respond to chlorhexidine. We in dentistry, chlorhexidine is a very popular and potent working solution in dentistry. As all we know, we use CHX 0.2% as anti-plaque in our periodontal therapy. And but in this, to kill the E. coli, we use 2% chlorhexidine as our working solution in our revisional endodontics or in our failed root canals. And my dear sons and daughters, as all of us we know, 4% of CHX is used as disinfecting agent in dentistry for various purposes. I will again repeat: 0.1 is used as anti-plaque, 2% as irrigational agent, and 4% as a disinfecting agent in the dentistry. So this was a small glimpse of the microbiology of the root canal system. I extend my thanks to all of you for kind listening. I will come up with the next video on next Sunday on irrigation. That this is my today's case. Root canal was required in mandibular first molar. Diagnosis of irreversible pulpitis was made. The cause was recurrent caries under the old silver filling. Straight line access cavity was given a priority, and the initial catheterization with the ISO 2% was done, and a radiograph, working length radiograph was taken, which is just a anticipated working length graph, and BMP using crown down preparation using Pro Taper Gold done with the working solution, which is usually cocktail of sodium hypochlorite and EDTA in my clinic. And then master cones you are seeing, we are trying the master cones in the canals after BMP, and then obturation is completed. Slope test is done to see the merging of the mesial canals, that is mesiobuccal and mesiolingual canals. Thank you very much. Thanks for listening.